Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to It Came From the 80s. Yes, DBougie86 here again. Yes, another It Came From the 80s. It's been a while since I did one on this channel, so I said, why not just do one, because I just watched this film today and wanted to talk about it. And this film, of course, comes from our good friends at Unearthed Films, who release a very variety of films. They're mostly known for their extreme horror films that they release, but they release a few other films like in their catalog, some westerns. They released a western, a lot of animated stuff too. And this one's probably their most out of the box catalog of their animated stuff, anyways. And that, of course, goes by the title of Rock and Rule. From 1983, this film came out. This is a Canadian animated film known as a cult classic. I've been hearing about this film for the longest time. Had it in the collection and finally got a chance to rewatch it. It's been a while since I've seen this one, and I wanted to do a full-length review of this one. Pretty much, this is kind of like a rock opera in a way, of animated style. It has a lot of hard rock, heavy metal influence to it, and the story entwines with the music with it. Pretty much the main plot of this one, we're introduced to our main characters of this band. The two lead singers of this band who actually intertwine and have a interesting relationship are Omar and Angel. And pretty much they both want the spotlight when we first meet them, because they had this rehearsal where Omar sings first and then Angel sings, and Omar has a distaste to hear Angel sing because of he wants the fame and fortune for himself pretty much. And what ends up happening is they end up getting an invitation from this hard rock superstar known as Mock, and they end up going there, and we find out that Mock has a different agenda for Angel, and pretty much we find out that Mock wants to awaken this being from another dimension using Angel's voice, and it's up to Omar and the other bandmates to try to stop him and save Angel in the process. That is pretty much the main plot of this one. I'm not going too into it. Now, the film itself is very interesting. It takes place in this post-apocalyptic setting where the characters are actually mutated animals that have survived and have mutated into a civilization, and they have their different characteristics of certain creatures and stuff that you see in their facial expressions. Omar has a elongated nose, and very interesting the characteristics. They have one character is this MC of this club, and he's a mouse pretty much. Yeah, very strange. Mock is a very interesting figure when we first introduced to him, because we don't actually get to see his face in the very beginning of the film. We just hear his voice, and when we get to meet him, he's a very eccentric, kind of a style of a aging rocker kind of deal, where he's aging and kind of going loony too, because he's kind of eccentric and lives on his own, and he has his own plot and schemes with his themes that go on with his character in particular. Now, the film itself is very fun. I really enjoy all the characters. I love the interaction between Omar and Angel, and especially the two other band members. They have this very heart-to-heart and very funny and comedic stuff that goes on with the two side band members in this film. They're really funny and have the interesting camera work and stuff with the animation, especially with their characters, and Mock's henchmen characters too. They're these brothers that roll on roller skates, but they're kind of the way I would describe them, they're kind of dog-like creatures, human types with roller skates, and have big giant bodies and small legs, and they're on roller skates and stuff. And it's just very awesome, especially with the interaction when they're first introduced in the film. We see these three brothers and they're fighting and stuff. It's very funny. The soundtrack of this film is awesome. It has a lot of great hard rock songs in it, especially with the musicians that are working on it. We have Lou Reed and Deborah Harry, of course, from Blondie, Iggy Pop, Cheap Trick. Actually, Omar's singing voice is done by the lead singer of Cheap Trick, Robbie Zander, and Debbie Harry's Angel's singing voice. And they have like a lot of interesting songs that play throughout it. The most interesting one I have to say though is like there's like this weird like club member dance sequence which actually has Earth, Wind and Fire playing in the soundtrack, and it's very elegant and awesome and has like that funky like dancing vibe to it that you hear in like a lot of like these Earth, Wind and Fire core songs and like the club numbers too, and it's very awesome and very well shot, and the animation is just amazing in this film. This is my favorite style of animation, and it's a very dying breed, this type of animation too, because it's mostly done with like computers now, computer animation stuff today, and films like this bring back memories of like growing up watching like heavy metal and Fire and Ice and like Wizards and all those good like animated films that we grew up watching as kids, like before like the computer animation stuff started coming in. And this is one that I think a lot of people should check out because it has like a lot of like elegant like stuff to go on with its music and characters and just the themes, and it has a lot of like different themes to it too. Like there's even some like horrific moments that happen in this film. Good for kids, and there's even like some loony like influence with like the rocker's modern life, you know what I mean, like how a rocker lives, especially with the Mott character and how he see him as he's going zany and eccentric type of way. But super fun film, and I highly recommend this. I had a blast with it. The transfer on this Blu-ray is awesome from Unearthed. It really brings out the animation and the colors and the schemes, and has a lot of great special features. Like a few like one thing that they have is like an alternative version of this film. It's not the best quality release of the alternative version, but it's still watchable, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a VHS rip of this alternative version, but you get the regular version also, and done in HD, and the sound design is just awesome in this film. We get a making of where we get interviews like Lou Reed, Iggy Pop, Debbie Harry, and the team that made this film that goes in depth into like the making and how to make the music and the characters work with the music also. And we also get a few like short films and of course trailers. Really awesome stuff from Unearthed Films. Really enjoyed Rock and Rule. It's great for the whole family, especially if you have like probably like maybe like a older like child, because they do have like some references like to drug influence in this film to get them off that. That's one thing, and kind of like sexual indigo, but still very fun and watchable film for the whole family. Awesomeness right here. If I had to rate Rock and Roll, I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Really awesome stuff. Check it out. Alright guys, that's it for this. It Came from the 80s. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back next time with another one sooner than later. Peace out.